a very good evening to all of you. We'll just wait for 2-3 minutes before the others also join in. And in the meantime, why don't all of you just let us know in the chat what brings you to today's workshop? Any health concern about with which you are struggling and you want to know more about it? Whatever be the reason, just let us know in the chat. All right. PCOS, overweight, autoimmune condition, low testosterone and high prolactin. Okay. Lichen planopilaris. All right. Rheumatoid arthritis, autoimmunity, gut issues, bloating. Yes. And with all this, hair fall will happen. Autoimmune condition. Okay. Prerna says, I want to understand and help myself with better physical and mental health. I'm facing severe issue with skin problems and bone health and period pains. Okay. All right. Tanya has been on medicines, underweight, Sjogren syndrome, thyroid, seronegative RA, again, very common these days, multiple sclerosis, leaky gut, ulcerative colitis. So yes, Manit, we see vitiligo very commonly, happening in children these days. Of course, children are being affected with a lot of autoimmune conditions, and vitiligo is one of the most common one. Vitiligo and Hashimoto. Ranjana, autoimmune condition, ANA positive. All right. So thanks for sharing, everyone. All right. Let me just give me a second. Okay, thank you everyone, and a very good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Ruhi, and thank you for joining in on a we are just starting our weekend, and seeing all of you here definitely it means you value your health and you are looking forward to information that we will be sharing in today's workshop. And many of you shared your health concerns in the chat. And we see that so many of you are struggling with an autoimmune condition. Many already have a diagnosis, some do not have a diagnosis. But what is most important is, the various symptoms that you're struggling with. And the moment a diagnosis or, couple of symptoms you're struggling with, it already kind of, starts affecting your day-to-day life. Okay. And in today's workshop, our goal is to empower all of you who are attending this workshop with right information and with a new perspective about chronic conditions, how to look at them, what is the reality about chronic condition, and how do you address them? How do you take charge of your health and start looking at it to really address what is going on, rather than just managing with your symptoms on a day-to-day daily basis and accepting that this is how it's going to be, right? How many of you would agree with me that it shouldn't be like this? If you're diagnosed with, let's say, rheumatoid arthritis, it should not be that, okay, this is for life. You will have to live with it. There is no other, way around. Okay, Sonal raises her hand. So I would, that would mean that she agrees with me. Okay, I see a couple of more hands. So thanks for agreeing with me. So I'm Dr. Ruhi. I'm a functional medicine practitioner. I have a background in conventional medicine. So I have seen how the conventional system, the allopathic system works when it comes to chronic conditions. I was not satisfied with what I was practicing, and that made me look for other options, made me look for other tools with which I can make a bigger difference in people's life. And with that, I founded Functional Medicine Clinic. I'm also the co-founder of Indian Association of Functional Medicine, which is a society that brings together various integrated and holistic practitioners in the country. And I have with me Mr. Siddharth Goel.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Yes, and so Siddharth is also a functional medicine practitioner. He comes from a blend of course, apart from his corporate career, but then he brings with him a blend of yogic experience and wonderful experience in health coaching. And I will have Siddharth take it forward, introduce himself, and start the workshop for today.
Thank you, Dr. Ruhi. Good evening and namaste and a warm welcome to everyone. We're really glad that all of you are taking out the time to join us today evening. So let me share my screen. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So Dr. Ruhi has already given a brief introduction about me. I won't, add much to that. Just to say that although I did work in the corporate sector for a decade, but early on I realized that my heart actually lies in health and well-being. So that's what happened 10 years back. I decided to quit the corporate journey and jump into this field of. Initially, I started with yoga. I've been practicing yoga that I learned from Isha Foundation from more than 20 years now, and I have also trained myself as a Hatha teacher, and I've also taught at least a couple of thousand people. But it was around 7-8 years back that I embarked on a journey to find some answers for my own health issues, which even the yoga was not able to solve. It did some amazing things to me, some unbelievable things to me, but it was not able to solve some problems. And that's why I kind of came looking for functional medicine. I have found the answers here, and all the learning that I gained, I thought this is something I must share with others, right? We are living in a world that is, the chronic ailments are skyrocketing every decade. In America, today experts are saying that in the next 20 odd years, 1 out of 3 people will get cancer, 1 out of 3 or 4 people will get cardiovascular disease, heart problem, 1 out of 2 or 3 people will get depressed, clinically depressed. They will have to depend on medication, etc. Right? So you can imagine the amount of health issues that our society is struggling with today. And as Dr. Ruhi was asking all of you earlier, it need not be like this, right? That's the fundamental, that it need not be like this. So with that, let's look at a couple of common myths about autoimmunity in specific, but this is actually applicable to many other health issues also in terms of the principle, right? When anybody is diagnosed with a autoimmune disorder and you go to a conventional practitioner and you ask the question, okay, why did this happen to me? The most common answer you get is that autoimmune disorders are genetic. Somewhere in your ancestors, in your family, somebody would be carrying this gene which is causing the problem for you. Well, this was the scientific view, let us say approximately 20-25 years back, okay? But science has advanced enough to tell us today that this is not true, okay? Autoimmune disorders are not genetic diseases. I am not saying that genes play no role at all. Okay, they might play a small role. Their role is never more than 15 or 20%, right? So 80% of the reasons why autoimmune disorders are coming are in our hands. We can do something about those reasons. And that's today's session is essentially about that. What are those reasons? How do they impact your health? And what can we do about it? And the other thing is, the next statement is that, this disease is forever. It's a life sentence. There's nothing we can do, but we can try to manage your symptoms with these, expensive and powerful drugs, which may be in the form of anti-inflammatories, which may be in the form of immunosuppressants, steroids, hormones, etc. Right? Biologics and all have started becoming more popular today. And sometimes the biologics, one dose can cost you 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees also. They're so expensive as well, right? So once again, if the first statement is not true, that these are autoimmune disorders, I mean, these are genetic, then this is the second statement is also not true, right? If there are identifiable reasons, root causes of autoimmune disorders, then those root causes can be modified, they can be addressed. And if they can be addressed, the body has the ability to heal itself, right? So always remember that your body is the most wonderful machine in this existence, the most sophisticated machine. It has incredible powers of healing and regenerating itself. We just have to support it a little bit by understanding what are the reasons which are causing the body to struggle and addressing those reasons. That's all that is needed. So the conventional thought process is, as I said, it's an incurable genetic disease requiring a lifetime of different types of medications. Whereas our functional medicine approach is that there are a variety of factors, environmental factors, such as chronic stress, excess viral load in the body, bacterial overgrowth, fungal overgrowth, certain medications, even hormonal fluctuations can trigger autoimmunity. Low level of nutrients, okay, deficiencies, toxicities can trigger autoimmunity. All that the genes are doing is that they are creating a predisposition. Okay, they are creating a likelihood that if other environmental factors are present, then you may get a autoimmune disorder, right? But all the other factors, we can do something about it. So in other words, in functional medicine, we say that genes load the gun, okay? But whether to pull the trigger or not is always in our hands. So once again, see, one thing I want you to understand and remember is that different people might be diagnosed with different autoimmune disorders. Okay, it could be allergy, it could be asthma, it could be lupus, it could be MS, it could be RA, it could be celiac, Addison's, Raynaud's, type 1, diabetes, Graves' disease, whatever. It doesn't matter. That is only the external expression of the disease. The underlying root causes do not change too much. Okay, what we looked at in the previous slide, these same environmental factors are working as the trigger, irrespective of what disease you are diagnosed with. Okay, so it's important to understand this, because otherwise you might think, oh, but my disease is this. Will this approach work for me? Yes, it will work for you, because it doesn't matter what the disease is, that is only the expression. The underlying reasons do not change. So let us look at the first root cause of autoimmune disorders. And once again, I'm reminding you, these root causes are not limited to autoimmune disorders. They also play a role in many other chronic diseases. Okay. So today we are eating a diet that is highly loaded with refined carbohydrates and sugars, right? Sugar is obviously a refined substance. See, even in South India, people eat a lot of rice. Generally, it is white rice, which is refined, which is unnatural. Or central and northern India, we eat a lot more of wheat. Wheat also has been refined. Okay, there's been so much of modification that has been done to the seed, to the crop, that it has much more gluten, it has much more carbs than it used to have, let's say, 100 years back. Okay. Now, gluten, which is a protein in wheat, has increased in quantity per grain of wheat much higher than it used to be, and the body has started reacting against it. Right? See, we have been eating these grain wheat for like literally thousands of years of history is there of agriculture, right? We never had these issues. They have started happening in the recent few decades. Since especially we started doing a lot of modification to the crops, and also we started doing a lot of chemical-based farming, right? And once again, dairy products are highly inflammatory, and especially today, the kind of milk and dairy products that are available to us are, I mean, there is so much information which is available about why they are so bad for us. And, the amount of processing, refining that is done to these products is unbelievable. On top of that, we as a generation are eating a huge amount of processed foods, okay? Packaged foods, processed foods. So your body at one level does not get the nutrition that it needs when you eat this kind of food. On the other hand, it also struggles to recognize these molecules as food. Okay. So you see there's a double whammy. It is you might feel that my stomach is full, I've eaten enough, but your body is still hungry because it is not getting the nutrition from the food, right? And on top of that, the immune system is going haywire because it is not able to recognize those food particles as food, right? And therefore, it starts reacting against these items. And that is the beginning of autoimmunity. We are eating a lot of refined oils and seed oils, which are not necessarily good for us. And we actually have a lack of healthy fats in our diet today. Okay, refined oils are not healthy. Please remember that. Okay, this is going against a lot of the marketing, advertising, brainwashing that is being done. But the truth is that refined oils are not good for our health. And on the other hand, our body is actually really struggling with lack of good and healthy fats. We do not consume enough protein. And even if we consume enough protein today, a lot of us have digestive issues. Digestive systems have become weak, and we are not able to digest and absorb these proteins from the diet. And if you look at an average person's plate, it is filled with a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of rice, a lot of chapati, parathas, etc., but not enough fruits and vegetables. Okay. Yes, very common, isn't it? And that again is creating an imbalance in how your body functions. See, finally, at the end of the day, your body is basically food, right? In yoga, the physical body is referred to as Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha means body made up of food, right? So what kind of food you're putting in the body will determine what kind of body you build and how it functions, isn't it? And the water we drink is very poor. Uh, we have started thinking that if my water is clean, that's the best water. Well, clean is important. There is no doubt about it, but there is many, many more properties to water than just clean. Okay. And unless your water is structured and it is full of energy, it's not really the best water for you, right? So those were all factors connected with the food. Now, another huge, elephant in the room is toxicity today. And this is coming in a variety of forms. Toxicity can be internal or external. Okay, internal means toxins which are generated inside the body. So LPS or microbial toxins are internal, endotoxins. See, there are trillions and trillions of bacteria that live in our body. Naturally, they need to be there, otherwise we can't survive, right? But if they overgrow, which is again very common today, they produce a lot of toxins which impact our system very, very negatively. We are also consuming a huge amount of drugs, medicines. See, medicines may be needed, they may be even lifesavers, right? There is no denying that. But at some level, we have to also recognize that all drugs are toxic. Yes, all of them have side effects. We can't ignore that fact either, isn't it? So that is also creating a lot of toxic load in the body. Then a lot of chemicals used in our agricultural processes, pesticides, fertilizers, glyphosate, etc. Massive, massive toxicity. Air pollution. Now, uh, there has been a lot of work that has happened in our country trying to reduce air pollution, especially the pollution that is generated by vehicles. But industrial pollution has not reduced, and very importantly, we don't realize that there are many sources of pollution inside our homes. Okay, and I see an increasing trend, especially in the urban areas, cities, that people always keep all their doors and windows closed. This is very bad for your health. Okay, if you do not allow enough circulation of air to happen, you are breathing toxic air, polluted air, right? Asbestos, I'm sure many of you know, this is a very common source of toxicity. BPA used in plastics, phthalates used to make plastics more flexible, and often this is found in toys for children, right? PCBs used in electronics, non-stick coatings. How many of you use non-stick cookware in your kitchens? You can reply with a me in the chat. If you're using non-stick cookware in your kitchens, please, you can reply with a me in the chat. Okay, Ruman, Sumona, Sarvat, Bhavna. Oh, so many people. Okay, what about the others? Okay. So let me take this opportunity to tell you that non-stick coatings are all toxic to our bodies. Okay. What you can do after this webinar, if you want to, you can check on Google what is the chemical used for non-stick coating. Most of the most common chemical is Teflon, and then you check uh, health effects of Teflon on Google. You search like that, it will show a list of diseases, including immune system related dysregulation and including cancer. It is carcinogenic, right? So if you do nothing else after today's session, you should throw out all your non-stick cookware. Even our toothpaste and our shampoos and other self-care products have become extremely toxic. Okay, fluoride in excess quantity is extremely toxic. SLS is a very, very toxic chemical which is found in all toothpaste and shampoos. Essentially, this is used to create a lot of foam. Okay, very, very toxic. So we are living in a world that is loaded with toxins, but it doesn't end here. There is a special category of toxins, okay? And this is heavy metals. Examples are mercury, lead, cadmium, aluminum, arsenic, and many, many more. Now, because of industrial activity, they have become highly concentrated in our environment, right? I was reading something that the amount of lead, like somebody who's lived their entire life, let's say up to 70 years of age, right? And then they die. Now you check the amount of lead in their bones, and you check the amount of lead somebody used to have, let's say on an average 100 years back. The amount of lead that we have today is more than 1,000 times more. 1,000 times. Okay. So you can imagine the amount of toxicity that our bodies are dealing with right now. Right. So the problem is that these toxins can enter the body through any route. You can take them through food, you can take them through your breath, and even with skin contact, they can enter the body. Right. And once they enter the body, they cause a lot of havoc. They can create a lot of inflammation. Okay. Including damaging the arteries. So very interestingly, people who have blocked arteries, right, heart problem, leading to heart problems and all, this has been found that if you just do the required, treatment to remove the heavy metals from their body, the arteries will open up. They don't have to go through bypass and angioplasty and all that. Okay, very, very interesting. And once the inflammation becomes chronic, your immune system will go off balance and autoimmunity will get triggered. I don't know how many of you realize this, but a lot of autoimmunity has increased after the COVID vaccination, etc. also, right? Because the vaccines contain some heavy metals. Generally, it is aluminum. It could also be mercury or other things, which is used as an adjuvant. Okay. The idea is to provoke your immune system into hyperactivity. A hyperactive immune system is an autoimmune disorder, right? That's exactly what autoimmunity is. So heavy metals can damage your brain tissue, your neurons. They can damage your mitochondria, which later on can damage anything else in the body, right? And they can actually damage any part of your body, any organ in the body. It can damage your liver, your kidneys, your intestines, your lungs, anything. They can damage your bones, right? Now, a lot of people wonder how to test for heavy metals. There are many ways to test. You can test in the blood. We test this for everybody who works with us, okay? If needed, when we suspect higher level of toxicity, you can even do advanced testing like the hair mineral analysis. Okay, this is a sample of the hair mineral report where you can see barium, aluminium, cadmium, lead are very, very high levels. Okay. So there are many ways to test for these things in the body, and it's very important that we start testing. See, experts are saying that anybody above beyond the age of 40, they need to start doing certain detoxification process on a annual basis, because we can reduce our exposure to toxins. We cannot bring it down to zero, right? So toxins will enter our body. We have to ensure that we do whatever is necessary to get rid of them on a regular basis. Now, chronic infections, very little known dynamic, at least when it comes to the conventional medical system. So infections can be of many types. It could be parasites, right? So interestingly, all of you who have children, you would be doing some kind of deworming process for the children once or twice a year. This is common, okay? It's not really a very effective way how we do it, but it is common. At least we understand that there is, overgrowth of parasites in the body and they need to be removed. But somehow we all think that once we have grown up and become adults, all the parasites have vanished from our system. Where would they go? Why would they go anywhere, right? Now, infections come in many forms, primarily in the form of bacterial and fungal overgrowths. Okay, Candida is a type of fungus which lives in our bodies. Okay, it's not a problem unless it overgrows. When it overgrows, it can create havoc. Okay, the kind of diseases it can create, you can't even imagine. Once again, just like bacteria, etc., viruses also live in our body all the time. Okay, only when they go out of control, if their numbers increase, then they create problems. And some of these overgrowth of these viruses is very well known. It is connected with certain autoimmune disorders as well. Okay. Lyme is another kind of infection, Clostridia, and many, many more. Okay. So once again, I'll go to the extent of saying this, that of the people that we work with, right? Let's say 100 people come to us with autoimmunity. I'll say at least 80%, 90% will have overgrowth of bacteria, fungus, virus in the body. If these things are not addressed, you cannot reverse the disease. Another very, very important part of the puzzle to solving autoimmunity is to work on your liver health. Okay. Because liver is the organ which is responsible for removing toxins and infections from the body. And when there is so much toxicity, when there's so much infections, definitely the liver's health will also get affected. It will not function optimally. And if it doesn't function optimally, you cannot have good health. Okay. Now, liver has many functions. Okay. Literally, science already knows more than 500 functions that the liver performs. But very basically, it impacts the pH of the intestines. Okay. And if the pH of the intestines is not proper, your intestines will not absorb nutrients from the food properly. Okay. Bile, which is produced by the liver, is a very powerful antimicrobial and antifungal, right? So we were talking about overgrowth of bacteria and fungus in the gut in the previous slide. If your liver is not functioning very well, they will anyways overgrow because your liver will not be able to produce the right quantity and quality of bile. And if that is not there, your infections will grow. And why infections or these bugs in the gut are so important? One important fact I want to tell all of you is that 70% of your immune system is found in the lining of your intestines. What is happening in the intestine will have it will have a very direct impact on your immune system health. Okay, please remember this. If your gut is not healthy, if your digestion is not happening very well, if you have bloating, constipation, diarrhea, this, that, okay, you cannot have good health. And the first system which gets impacted in the body is your immune system. Because as I said, 70% of the immune system is found in the lining of your intestines. Okay. Bile salts also have a function of regulating the fat production in the liver. So if you have you have too much weight in the body, or you have cholesterol problems, again, liver health is a major factor in that. So now you can understand, if your liver is not functioning properly, hundreds of downstream functions will get impacted negatively, right? So now again, talking about the gut health in detail. So the gut is a very interesting place. It's like a tube which is 25, 30, 35 feet long, depending on how tall, etc. you are. And it is a very messy place. Why? Because an average person who's eating well can eat a few kilograms of food every day, right? All of this food has to be processed in this organ, right? And what does it mean? See, your body is trying to digest the food. Your stomach has a lot of acid and some enzymes. When that food goes in, it is broken down in the stomach. It goes to your intestines. You have different enzymes and bile, etc., which further breaks it down and absorbs it. But there are tens of trillions of bacteria and fungus, etc., who are living in your gut. What are they doing there? They are living there because they want to eat this food, isn't it? Right? And how do bacteria eat the food? Do you know how they eat the food? See, in the summers, you prepare some food in the morning and you forget to keep it in the fridge. You leave it on the table. When you come back in the evening, can you eat this food? No, isn't it? What has happened? You just bring it close to your nose and you know this food cannot be eaten. What has happened? Bacteria have started eating that food, right? What is that smell? It is a smell that is produced. The smell is coming from the toxins that the bacteria are producing when they're eating that food. The same thing is happening inside your gut. Please remember this. Even more than it happens outside, because your gut, the temperature is always peak summer, right? 37 degrees centigrade. So when these microbes overgrow, they go out of balance. That is called dysbiosis. This is a primary connection with autoimmunity. Infections, as I said earlier, it could be of many types. It could be fungal, it could be viral, it could be bacterial, it could be parasites also. Now, one very, very common dynamic that we are seeing, and this is like the first kind of step in the problem, okay, is low stomach acid. How many of you have had, right now you may have, or you might have suffered from this earlier, you've suffered with acid reflux or heartburn or GERD? Please quickly reply in the chat. You can say me if you have struggled with this. Oh my God, look at how many are there. So now the interesting thing I'm going to tell you, okay, once again, please pay attention to this. You have always been told that these symptoms are happening because you have high stomach acid, okay, hyperacidity, and therefore you have to take antacids to suppress that. No, that is not true. Almost nobody has extra acid in the stomach. Everybody has low acid in the stomach, okay. It may take some time for you to get this thought in your mind, because you have been programmed for years and decades to think that all these symptoms mean you have extra acid. No, you don't have extra acid. It's very, very rare, okay, extremely rare to find that, but very common to find low acid in the stomach. And when you have low acid, understand what will happen. Your stomach cannot break down the food properly. Low acid means you will not be able to break down the minerals, the vitamins. With low acid, your pepsinogen will not get converted into pepsin, so you will not even digest the proteins properly. When this undigested food comes to your intestines, the subsequent steps of digestive process will also not happen properly. And then who's going to eat all this food? It's the bacteria. They were supposed to get this much food because your body was supposed to digest. Now they're getting this much food because your body is not able to digest the food, right? What will happen? They will overgrow and they will create a lot of toxins, which will damage your gut. Then it will enter the body, circulate everywhere, and create havoc. And the first thing that happens is your immune system sees all of these things which are entering the body, they should not have entered, right? Immune system is the gatekeeper. It is the guard at that gate. That's why it's sitting there in the intestinal lining. When it sees all of this entering the body, it goes crazy. It thinks the body is under attack and it gets into attack mode itself. But what will it attack? Because these are all food particles only, right? There is no enemy there actually. This is what leads to the development of autoimmunity. So low stomach acid is very, very important. And if you have hyperacidity, you have heartburn, you have GERD, those are almost always signs of either low stomach acid or stomach acid being in the wrong place. It's getting into the food pipe, esophagus. It should have stayed in the stomach. There is a valve between the two. If that valve becomes weak, then the acid can enter the esophagus. So either it's in the wrong place or it is low. Low stomach acid can also cause the valve to malfunction, because one of the triggers for the valve to close properly is a lot of acid in the stomach. If there is not enough acid, the valve will not close properly. Okay. So the truth is the exact opposite of what you have been told. And once you suppress the acid, it was already low, it was already weak, and then you kept on popping antacids, you have no idea what kind of a disaster you're creating for yourself in the long run. Okay, the kind of ailments it can lead to, it can take you to any ailment, okay, arthritis, autoimmunity, obviously, heart problems, cancer, everything is possible out of just this first step of suppressing your stomach acid. It is so critical. If stomach acid is low, digestive enzyme production is almost always low. And once again, the same thing happens. Food will not get digested properly. Your bacteria will eat it, create toxicity, and things will happen. Chronic constipation. Once again, very, very common, isn't it? If you are constipated, what's happening? All the waste material, all the toxins which are supposed to go out of the body are sitting in your large intestine. What is the job of the large intestine? Again, to absorb, right? So many of these things will get reabsorbed. So you see how toxicity is increasing, how the immune system is going off balance. So all of these dynamics that I explained, right, the bacterial overgrowth, more toxins, essentially what happens is the lining of your intestine gets damaged. This is called a leaky gut. So things that should not have entered your body, they start entering. And this leads to your immune system reacting to food items. So I'm sure many of you will know this, right? Have experience. You eat something and immediately you start feeling, some difficulty. Somebody will have a skin rash. Somebody will have a runny nose, or some other symptoms will come. This means you have a leaky gut already. Your immune system is getting exposed to this food in the body. This food should have stayed in the intestines till it was fully digested. But before it is fully digested, it is actually entering the body, right? So this is just a example image to show you. The first image, I hope you can see my mouse pointer. Between two cells of the intestinal lining, there are tight junctions, those three horizontal lines. But if you have a leaky gut, that tight junction is actually damaged and there is a leak now. So now food which is not yet digested properly, and even the bacteria, etc., who are living in the gut can enter the body and create havoc. What are the common symptoms of a leaky gut? The interesting thing is leaky gut symptoms are not symptoms of the gut. They will show up everywhere else in the body generally, right? You can get headaches, migraines, brain fog, poor focus, poor memory, and inability to recall things. You can have skin problems, eczema, psoriasis, breakouts, acne, and you can have a lot of low energy. You have a lot of fatigue. You get tired very easily. You can have depression. You can have anxiety. You can have panic attacks. You can have mood swings just because you have a leaky gut. You have, just go on putting on weight. You get inflamed and you're not able to lose it. PND, your nose is always dripping 12 months of the year, no matter what you do, or congested sinuses. Stiff muscles, stiff joints, painful joints, arthritis, tight muscles, fibromyalgia, canker sores, racing heart, palpitations, short breath, right? And also gastrointestinal symptoms. But that's the last in the list. GI, leaky gut symptoms will show up everywhere else in the body. And most of the time, we will go on taking some medication to suppress each symptom separately. You have got a headache, you'll take a painkiller. You got a eczema, you'll take something to suppress that. You will never realize it is actually all coming from your gut. Seventh cause, very, very important, is the fact that all of us are being exposed to a very heavy amount of radiation, right? Through our phones, through our Wi-Fi, through our all these electronic gadgets which have a very powerful electromagnetic field. Our body is not designed to handle this by nature, right? And it is creating a lot of problems. It is dysregulating your mitochondria. It is creating imbalance in your microbiome. It is creating imbalance and dysfunction in your immune system. Okay, so the next is mitochondria. See, we all know that mitochondria is the energy powerhouse of the cell, right? Whatever food you eat, finally it's the mitochondria that will use the food to produce energy. But we don't know that it actually has many other functions. It has a lot of connection with your immune function. And once your mitochondria are not in good health, your immune system will go for a toss. What are the factors that can affect your mitochondria negatively? Infections, toxins, inflammation, all of this blue light, right, from the tube lights and all, even from your screens, poor quality water, deficiencies of key nutrients like your B vitamins, your carnitine, your good healthy fat is very important, CoQ10, lipoic acid, etc. And these are deficiencies which are common today. Okay, is there anybody who has a B12 of 700, 800 here? No, right? Everybody has 150, 250, 300. Your mitochondria cannot function properly with such low levels, right? And dehydration again. So we spoke a little bit about water in the first root cause, but dehydration again. takes many forms. If you're not drinking structured water, your body will be dehydrated at a cellular level. You may be drinking enough in a day, but it won't hydrate you at a cellular level. And this is again linked to a whole long list of chronic ailments. Okay. And last but not the least, chronic stress. You ask people, are you stressed? Ah, I'm okay, I'm managing. Well, that is not good enough. Okay, why? Because even with the little amount of stress, your nervous system, the focus of your nervous system will move away from creating health. It will not bother about health because your nervous system does not understand that you are getting stressed because there was traffic on the road today, or somebody said something nasty to you, or you didn't like the food today, there was too much salt, right? We can get stressed with anything these days, but your nervous system does not understand all this. It only understands that if you are creating stress in your mind, your nervous system will think that there is danger to your life. There is some animal that wants to attack you and kill you and eat you up. That's the only thing, because this is a defense mechanism that nature has built into our systems. Okay. Now, if an animal is about to attack you, why would your body waste its energy on health and reproduction and metabolism and immunity? It's a waste of energy, right? At that time, you need to survive, you need to run, you need to be able to fight. So it will sacrifice all these other very important functions and shift its focus on surviving. You stay in some level of stress all the time, all the time, all the time. You end up with chronic ailments. There is no other option. It has to happen like that, right? This is exactly what I was trying to tell you, right? Your body is not able to distinguish between a stressful job and a tiger, right? So I will stop here. Any questions about any of these, you can ask or you can put in the chat and we will answer. And I'll hand over to Dr. Ruhi to take us through the rest of the presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thanks, Siddharth. Allow me share the screen. Okay. Okay, so now that all of you have heard Siddharth, and he shared a lot about the various most common root causes. So now, can you answer this question? Do you agree that lifelong anti-inflammatory drugs, immunosuppressants are the only solution for autoimmunity? Something which is caused by food, something which is caused by heavy metals, something which is caused by infections, non-native EMF, the kind of water you are drinking, the kind of stress are you under, can something which is caused by so many things, can these be just fixed by immunosuppressants? Can they be just, fixed with anti-inflammatory drugs? Right? Absolutely not. And if we are doing that, we are just trying to manage the symptoms in some way or the other. Now, how many of you have at least 5 of these symptoms? I have here around 20 symptoms on the screen right now. How many of you have at least 5 of them? So, okay, Shama, Ruman, Tanya, Sindhu. Oh, a lot of you have at least 5 of them. And in many cases, you may not even have a diagnosis. You may have got so many blood work done, you visited so many doctors, so many experts, but you're not able to find an answer why you have all these symptoms, why they're not going away. You may be thinking, I'm eating home cooked food, I am doing this, I'm exercising also, but still I have these symptoms, right? That's because we are still just trying to see the surface of what is happening to your body. Or if you have at least 5 of these symptoms, it's a sign that your body is giving you something is not okay inside your body. Do something about it. But then if you're just trying to manage it with some medications or the other, it will be for life. It will not go away, right? And in many cases, you may not have a diagnosis of chronic fatigue. All your tests looks normal. And why they look normal? First, the person who is interpreting it is looking at the lab ranges only. You see your, for example, your insulin, a very simple example, your fasting insulin, you're seeing, oh, it's 16. The range is 2 to 24. It's normal for me. You're mistaken. It's not normal. If you are in fasting insulin in 16, it is a sign of insulin resistance. Please do not go by the lab ranges. You have to look at the optimal ranges and correlate it with your sign and symptoms. So if we really have to address so many symptoms that a person is going through, we really have to change how we are looking at any chronic health problem. You cannot start treating each and every symptom, but you have to look at it in a holistic way. What is happening in your liver is connected with your gut. It's connected with your brain. It's connected with, the way you're eating. So everything is so interconnected. So we need to stop treating each symptom separately. If we are doing that, you will need 20, 30 drugs to manage each symptom. And just taking a pill for each health problem is not the solution because they are just suppressing your symptoms. So it's time that you take a step back, you look at why really you are having this problem, find out the root cause and fix it. Now, achieving optimal health, I would say it's not difficult if you do the right things. You need to give your body the things that the body needs. You need to maximize for that. And what does the body need? Your body needs the raw material, right? Every cell in our body, it's has the potential, it has the ability to regenerate. So you need to give the body the right material that it needs to heal itself, to function, to regenerate. And what are these raw materials? The raw materials is good quality of air, good quality of oxygen, good quality of water, all the vitamins, all the minerals, antioxidants to fight, the stress that the body is going through. Every cell is made up of protein. You need good quality protein. You need healthy fats. So if you've been told do not eat fats, it's not good for your body, again, that's misleading. Your body needs fat because every cell is made up of fat. Every hormone is made up of fat. You need to, again, maximize a positive belief that you will be able to recover. If you have a certain health problem now, that's not for life. That does not define your life. You can change it. So that's the positive belief that you need. And you need to take away whatever is harmful, right? Now, what are the things that's harmful right now? So you need to take away the toxins from the body, right? You need to reduce your exposure to the toxins in the environment around you. You need to clear off the infections because when any infection becomes chronic, you're not taking care of that infection. that bacteria or that virus, that parasite, they just become a part of your cell. So, it's just like now your cell has that pathogen also. And when your immune system will try to attack that pathogen, it will end up in attacking your cell, because in the cases of chronic infection, the pathogens become a part of the cell. And that is why your body is just attacking your own cell. You have to identify the allergens and remove it, because every time you're taking allergens, you are triggering your immune system. You have to manage your stress. If there has been a past trauma, you have to work on it. You have to work on releasing the energy blockages in your body. You have to remove the limiting beliefs, the fear, the negative expectations. You need to work on them, because if I'm taking care of the things that I have to maximize, but I'm not taking care of the emotional aspect, again, what we want to achieve will be limited. And of course, while we maximize and minimize few things, we have to prioritize certain things. The priority has to be to create an environment which is conducive for healing, right? You need to sleep enough, you need to rest, you need to associate yourself with people with whom you can laugh, right? Enjoy every moment, work on your stress levels, stretch your body, right? Be aware of your breath, and practice certain breathing patterns which can improve your physical health as well as mental health. And of course, establish meaningful relationships. Today, toxins, it's not just about what is the toxin exposure, the environment, what is coming in the food, but it's also about the thoughts, what kind of people you're exposed to, what kind of thoughts you're exposed to, right? They can be toxic as well. So you need to work on meaningful relationships. So now, if we have to take care of so many different aspects when it comes to healing, the approach has to be integrative. It cannot be isolation. I cannot just focus on liver health or gut health or thyroid. It has to be holistic, and it has to look at body as a whole, where we are able to connect the dots. What is happening in one part of the body? How is it connected with other part of the body? So we have to connect this dot and look at the body as a whole. And only when we do this, we will be able to identify the causes to the health problem and then start addressing those causes. And when we address the root cause, it's only then the condition will start reversing. And that's exactly what we do in functional medicine. We treat the whole body. We do not just work on the symptoms. It's the whole body. So this is a summary of the aspects that we look at: the gut health, the emotional health, your brain health, work on the detoxification, work on the best exercise, because again, if the inflammation is very high, you cannot do heavy exercises. It will be detrimental for your body. So the right kind of exercises, the right kind of supplements that you need, right, to address the deficiencies, address the infections, heavy metals, and so on. The strategies for sleep hygiene, the strategies for giving the body rest, right? Work on relationships, work on the right kind of diet. If your gut health has gone for a toss, you cannot, just a gluten-free, dairy-free diet will not help. Okay. So the diet has to be personalized, has to be tailored to what exactly is wrong in your body. So to cover all these different aspects that is required in the recovery of an individual, we have a dedicated program. It's called the Hormone Reset Program, it's called, but it covers all kind of different chronic conditions, where we look into all the root causes that Siddharth just spoke about today. Now, what are these? We check for heavy metals and the toxins. We look for chronic infections, parasites, bacteria, viral, fungal. We look for all the deficiencies, vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, proteins. We look for the inflammatory markers and address them. We look for the gut function, the gut dysbiosis, leaky gut, the various infections, and address them. Again, everything boils down to mitochondrial function, which is the engine of your cell. Each cell has numerous mitochondria. And if your mitochondria is not working well, your body will not work on its optimal. The body will not be able to produce enough energy. So we identify mitochondrial dysfunction and work on improving the mitochondrial health. Work on the detoxification pathways, work on improving your liver function, work on improving your bowel movements, work on other detoxification pathways, because while we reduce the toxin load, we also have to make sure that the detoxification pathways are optimal. And of course, nobody can escape stress, so you need better management strategies for coping with stress. And again, we are so much bombarded with non-native EMF that you need to have strategies in place so that you can protect yourself from the damage that it can do to your body, the damage to the mitochondria that it does. And of course, 80-85% of our body is just water. So you have to be aware about the right kind of water for your body, right? So we look into all these root causes in an individual, work on them so that you can regain your health back. So just to give you an overview of how the process works and what is the structure of the program, we will only get to know what you are going through with the help of a detailed history taking. So we start with a detailed history taking with the help of a comprehensive history form where you provide us all the signs and symptoms that you're going through, the history that you have, and any other details that you would want to provide us. Basis that, we then recommend the test recommendations for you. Once we have the history and the test, we analyze them, do a root cause analysis. That is what helps us understanding what are the root causes at play in your body. Based on the root cause analysis, we now make a personalized nutrition plan and a treatment plan. So the nutrition plan will be what you should be eating, what you should be avoiding, a sample nutrition plan, and then of course you can work around it based on your cuisine, etc. We give you recipes and everything that you would need to implement it conveniently. And then there is a treatment plan where there will be the lifestyle recommendations, various strategies, based on what root causes we have identified. There will be various supporting handouts also for that, and a detailed treatment plan where we include supplements that would be needed to as a part of the treatment plan. During the 3 months program, there will be 2 one-to-one consultations. The first one will be to explain you our analysis, explain you how to go about it, explain everything about the treatment plan that we have made. And the second one would be a follow-up. Now, apart from the consultations, we have interactive sessions to interact with you and empower you. Now, we just don't want to make a treatment plan and give it to you and you implement it. You will only be able to make any changes sustainable when you are empowered, when you know about the reasoning behind it. And that's exactly what we do in the interactive sessions that we do. So some sessions would be conducted by me, some would be conducted by Siddharth. And these sessions are on different aspects that is important in your recovery. So, and during these sessions, we also interact. And apart from that, there would be aspects covered on meditation, stress management, You'll be guided on the right kind of physical activity and the yoga for you. A very important aspect of the entire program is a 3-day guided detox process. So we guide you on exactly how to do this detox, do the hand holding, and the experience that the earlier program participants have had after the 3-day detox has been amazing. What they have to say after this. And of course, during the entire 3 months, you have WhatsApp support. You will have all the support that you would require to implement the treatment plan. And also, it's a community. So you will have other people also. So it's a community where there's a lot of sharing, there is learning from each other, there is motivation. So that's what is about, the 12-week program. Now, how do you know that things are working for you? Your energy levels will improve. Most of the time, people have had headaches. They start getting eliminated. Your sleep is better. Your periods are better. Your skin is better. Hair is better. You no longer feel that you're dragging your body. You are in tune with your body. Your cravings have reduced. Your digestive system, that digestive health will improve. You will have regular bowel movements. And a very important thing, that you will not feel inflamed. You will not, you wake up in the morning and you feel, you're just puffy. You feel your body is inflamed. You will no longer feel that. And these are just few of the improvements, few of the signs of healing. Of course, there will be a lot more based on what your sign and symptoms are. So this functional medicine based program, that's it's available. We start a program, this program will be starting soon. The program cost is 14,000, and over the next for the next 2 days, for all the webinar attendees, it's available at a discounted price. There's a mistake there. It's actually 16,000, and only for the next 2 days, it's available for 12,000. So people who are attending the webinar can benefit from this. We are open for questions. So people who want to ask questions can raise your hand, and we will allow one by one to, to ask your question. So before I start the Q&A, all right. Okay, Siddharth, can you launch the poll if you're able to do that? And I'll start the question. Okay, Lubna, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Siddharth, you'll also have to make me the co-host. Yeah.
Just managed to sort that out.
Okay. Hi, Lubna. Please go ahead with your question.
Ruhi, we also wanted to show that testimonial video of Aparna.
Yes. Okay, we can take Lubna's question and then shall we do that? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Lubna. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi. Thank you so much. It was a very nice session. So I have few queries, 2 or 3. The first query is that how come, I was not able to understand that low acid in stomach leads to hyperacidity. Is that what
Yes,
was
that's
meant?
exactly what I was saying.
Okay, this is something very difficult for me to understand.
Yes. You want me to explain it further?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
So low stomach acid is one of the reasons of hyperacidity or the feeling of heartburn or GERD. Okay, why? Because if anything has to come back up into the esophagus, the valve has to open. This is called the LES, lower esophageal sphincter. There's a valve between the esophagus and the stomach that has to open, right? Now, there are certain triggers which trigger the valve to close. One of the triggers is stomach acid. If the stomach acid is weak, the valve may not close fully. There are many other reasons. Low level of magnesium in the body can make the valve loose. Okay. Food sensitivities, allergies can make the valve loose. Certain types of toxins can do that. Bacterial overgrowth in the stomach can do that. Okay, certain medications can do that. There are many reasons. Low stomach acid is one of the reasons. But more importantly, what I wanted you to take away is that high stomach acid is never the case. I hope that clarifies a little bit more for you.
So the lower esophageal, this sphincter, that becomes loose when there's acidity. I mean, when someone feels. Okay.
Yes.
All right. The second thing is that you had just told about that PND. So how PND is connected to gut?
How PND is connected to the gut? Let me put up that slide for everybody. Slide was that. Ruhi, can you answer till I'm trying to find the slide? Because not everybody will understand what is PND, right?
What exactly is she referring to, Siddharth? Sorry, I'm not getting
Post-nasal drip.
Okay,
I'll just
all
put this
right.
up.
Okay, so post-nasal drip, again, that's a very common sign of food sensitivities, food allergies, right? If anybody has constant need of clearing the throat, right? It's a sign of food allergies, food sensitivities. Now, why are you having that? Okay, when your stomach acid is low, okay, you will not be able to digest certain food, digest food in general, and of course food, especially proteins, etc., you'll not be able to digest it. Okay, and when the food is there in your stomach, it's not getting digested, it's just rotting there. Okay, it will damage the environment in your gut. It will damage your gut lining, the tight junctions of the gut lining, contributing to a leaky gut. And what do you mean by leaky gut? Now your gut has become leaky. It will allow whatever is there in the gut, whatever waste was there, it will now again go back into the stream, go back into the system. Okay, and that creates an inflammation in the body, and that contributes to the post-nasal drip.
All right. What about the protein leakage through urine? I mean, it wasn't mentioned, so
That's again is an inflammation, right? In a healthy individual, there will be no leakage of protein in the kidney, right? Why has the kidney started allowing this leakage? Because there's damage happening to the kidney. Right? And see, inflammation can affect any part of the body, whether it's the gut lining, whether it's your thyroid, whether it's your kidney, right? The approach is the same, the process is the same.
Because at times it is also autoimmune, the protein, yeah.
That's what I said. Autoimmunity is inflammation in the body. Inflammation can happen in any part of the body. Okay, so this is damage to the kidney.
The final thing is your kidneys are getting damaged. Why are they getting damaged? They can get damaged because of autoimmunity. They can get damaged because of toxicity. They can get damaged because of infections. But finally, they are getting damaged, right? And that is why the leakage is happening.
All right.
Okay. Siddharth, are you able to launch the poll?
Yes, we can do that now. Oh, it's already on actually.
All right.
28. Only 28 out of 63 have answered. Please, others also. There's just one question. Please answer. It just takes like 10 seconds to do it.
Siddharth, do you want to share the testimonial?
Yes. Share the sound there.
Can I ask a question?
Just hold on, please, for just 1 minute.
Hello all, this is Aparna from Hyderabad. Few months back I've been diagnosed with MCDD, which is called multiple connective tissue disorder. It's an autoimmune condition where multiple autoimmune disorders have been attacking my immune system. At the same time, I had RA, rheumatoid arthritis, then I had Jordan syndrome, which had affected my eyes, and I had many other conditions also. I mean, my symptoms were I used to wake up with pain, and especially in my left wrist and my thumb joints. I used to wake up with pain every day in the morning, and my eyesight started to, become very blurry. And then I used to have this brain fog, very, very, very lethargic and no mood to do anything, or low in energy all the time. But one day I came across Hormone Research over Instagram and I contacted them. I took over the plan, very sustainable plan. I could make over the changes. I think within almost 3 weeks, I was able to adapt to the plan very easily. And very good supplements which started to show impact very quickly. My hair fall started to reduce. My acne marks have gone. My skin started to feel much better. And then I started to have a burst of energy all throughout the day. And today, especially today, now being the monsoon season, I can wake up without pain. Very, very mild and very little pain in those smaller joints that I have. But otherwise, I feel very, very good and happy after taking the plan from Hormone Research.
This was Aparna. She had multiple autoimmune conditions, rheumatoid, TD. She had Sjogren's syndrome and also Hashimoto, right? So 4 different autoimmune conditions. And in 3 months, she was able to see a significant difference in her health. Why? Because she started working on the root causes that was contributing to her health problems.
One thing I would want to add is that she was amazingly positive always.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Ruhi was sharing, right? You have to maximize your belief. It's very, very important that your mind is cooperating with your body. So she was amazing in that, in the sense that she was always positive.
Yep. Yes. Okay, so Tushar, you can turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and ask your question.
Ma'am, couple of days ago, I have attended a workshop conducted by Dr. Ashwini sir, and you were also there. So,
Yeah.
may I know how that workshop is different from what we are discussing today? I think it was also related to autoimmunity, if I'm not wrong. It was chronic conditions. So, what is the fundamental difference between both the programs so that we can make a choice? Where shall we go for?
So, see, fundamentally, there is no difference, right? Both workshops are meant for creating awareness, right? And providing the right information that we want to bring to the people. So there is absolutely no difference in, what the treatment will be like. You can choose any of the programs.
Okay. And ma'am, will I have to do a ANA blood test again in case if we have to find whether I am autoimmune disorder or not?
You
Because
already
I already
have a
did that, but almost sorry.
You don't have to repeat the ANA if you already know you have an autoimmunity, but we will
Okay.
need other markers which will help us understand why you have autoimmunity.
Makes sense then. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, there's a question in the chat. Vishal here, I have severe gut issues, started putting on lot of fat around the abdomen and gained around 10 kgs in the last 6 months. Can I get into this program or is it only for females?
You take it?
Okay. So Vishal, we work both with men and women. The only difference is that for women, we have a group program as well option. Okay. So yes, you can drop your number and the team will get in touch with you. We can definitely help you overcome these problems. We can help you reverse these issues.
Yeah, and I think there was another question in the chat. Carolyn was asking about insulin resistance.
Yes.
So are you still there, Carolyn? If you're there, then we'll answer this question or we'll skip it. Okay, all right. So what I was explaining about insulin resistance is I was explaining the lab marker where, many times when it is 16 or 20, people think it's normal because it's within the lab range, right? But it's not normal. The lab range, actual optimal ranges cannot be so broad from 2 to 24. They have to be narrow if they're optimal. So one should maintain their fasting insulin between 5 to 6. Anything more than that indicates you need to work on it. It's sign of metabolic dysfunction. Okay. And insulin resistance basically means your cells are not responding to insulin. Why it's not responding, why it's not able to do its job, push the glucose into the cells, because again, the mitochondria, which is inside the cell, that has become dysfunctional, which can be because of infections, heavy metals, toxins, deficiencies. You need to improve the working of the engine, and that will make your insulin sensitive. Hope that answers your question. So, okay, yours is 6, but still your doctor suggested glycomet. So, Carolyn, we need to understand a lot more why it was suggested to you. If I just comment based on it's 6 and you are still glycomet, that would not be okay. We will have to look into a lot more details in your case. Okay. Ranjana Bhasin, are you there? If you're there, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, please ask.
Yeah, actually, I'm suffering from UCTD, and I'm facing different flares and different timings. So from last 5 years, I'm having this problem. So now I'm really fed of these conditions.
So Ranjana, we just shared Aparna's testimonial. She had MCTD, right? And multiple signs and symptoms, you don't know what is coming from. And she didn't have just MCTD, but 3 other autoimmune conditions. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear us?
Yeah, actually, the voice was cracking.
I was saying, did you see Aparna's testimonial when we played it?
No.
All
At
right.
that time, I was not. Yeah.
So it would be good if you join our WhatsApp group. We will share the testimonial there. We just shared about Aparna. She exactly had MCTD and 3 other autoimmune conditions.
Okay.
And she was in a similar situation, what you are saying now, right? You don't know. You have so many symptoms and something, this symptom, sometimes the other, and you're not able to figure out what to do, right?
Yeah.
So when we started working with her, we saw there were a lot of infections in her case. The toxin load was high, right? We started working on it. And as we worked on it, her body started responding her and her symptoms improved dramatically.
Okay.
So what the situation that you are in right now, that can be improved. That can be, you can recover your health if we start addressing what is going wrong.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
So before we go to the next question, if you want to stay connected with us, please join our WhatsApp group. The link has been shared in the chat and the team will share it once again after some time.
Okay. Sonali, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, hi, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Hi, Dr. Ruhi. Hi, Siddharth. It
Hello.
was really insightful session. Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. My question is regarding Hashimoto's.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your question?
Well,
Am I audible?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah, so my question is regarding Hashimoto's. Like, I am on thyroid medications from more than 10 years. So, like, are you trying to say that by hormone reset or this 12 weeks program, it will reverse or I can heal my thyroid?
100% you can heal. 100%.
Okay, okay.
Yes, we have been able to help a lot of men and women with Hashimoto's. Not only that, we've even been able to reverse uh, the so-called much more difficult disease, Graves' hyperthyroidism.
Yeah.
And we have people who are absolutely free of any drugs, any medication.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. That's it. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay. Prerna, you can unmute yourself. Prerna, are you there?
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Hi. So I'm also a big believer in the alternative medicines, and I have been in with homeopathic medicines and home remedies, and so I'm very aligned to what you have been telling. Quite interested in taking up this program, but really I wanted to know that what kind of medicines during the treatment plan you will be suggesting. Are they steroid based or like they say these are very natural and everything, but then they really end up connecting us or getting addicted to these kind of medicines. Really little anxious about these small details.
Okay. Okay, we'll answer that. What's your health concern, Prerna? Do you have any?
So it's majorly one is the skin issues. I think what I've been told is psoriasis and eczema in my hands and other body folds. Then there is one bone health I want to work, and of course, what when Siddharth sir was speaking about the gut health and everything, so I could understand. Okay, so that is the main, main this thing that I'm facing.
Okay, all right. So now,
Joint pains and all.
So now, if we have to recommend, if we were recommending you medications which have steroid, then we are no different from allopathy, right? Then why are we doing this whole exercise of leaving our conventional allopathy practice and studying functional medicine and running a program which is based on functional medicine? So none of the medicines that we would prescribe will have any steroids, or first of all, they're not medicines, right? They would be supplements which is there to support you, and they're needed until your body does not need it anymore. In terms of, for example, if there is a deficiency, if you're low on B vitamins, you're low on D vitamins, we will have to give it from outside. Body doesn't make it. If you are low on minerals, we will have to give you. If you're low on proteins, you're low on omega-3, we will have to give you. If I have to support your liver function to remove the toxins, we will have to give you certain supplements which will support the liver function. So that's what will be a part of the treatment plan. There are no drugs.
Really, matlab, how you both have been explaining gives quite a confidence to go ahead on this. So when we start this program, so these supplements and all these will be provided by you.
It won't be provided by us. So we will recommend you, we will provide you the online links we will provide you, and then you will have to place a purchase. You'll have to order it.
Okay. How can you really, if I want to understand, are these skin issues reversible? Because I have heard that these are lifelong. And
Most of you who are here, right, till for now, there are 45 people still there, right? And most of you would have heard any problem that you've acquired in your lifetime. It's for life. Diabetes, for example, right? It was told it's for life, but you can reverse type 2 diabetes. Thyroid disorders, the moment you're diagnosed, you're put on thyroid pills, and then it's for life because you're not doing anything while you have thyroid, right? So yeah, I mean, when we started the webinar, today's webinar, the first thing we said that the moment that the diagnosis happened, you are told it's for life. You cannot do anything about it. But we explained about the connection between the leaky gut and how it is causing you the skin symptoms. Right? So when
so the only one who was talking about these lab tests, people don't talk about these things. And I have also read, these things that these lab test scores and everything, these are a big this thing that along with pharmacies and medical industry has created to of course earn profit on these, like especially even diabetic का भी जो ranges हैं.
Right. So
coming it from people like you is really encouraging.
So thanks, Prerna. We hope this was an eye-opener for you and you want to take charge of your health.
I have enrolled. I've paid.
Okay.
Awesome. So I think you have enrolled, and the team is saying Sharmishta and Shikha have also enrolled. So wonderful. We look forward to helping you guys.
Yeah. And I've shared the screenshot with Mr. Rathod, I think.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Can we leave after this?
You can. Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you so much. Bless you both.
Thanks.
Hello, ma'am. Here, Pooja here.
Pooja. Okay, Pooja, आपकी ही थी. I'll allow your turn. Please give me some time.
Okay.
Okay. Sonali. Okay, Carolyn, you still have a question, or I answered your question in the chat? Okay. Sindhu Sanjay, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi doctor, this is Sindhu. So I've been diagnosed PMSCL positive, and they said it's polyarthritis like 1.5 years back. And my symptoms are joint pain. It started with only wrist joint pains, and it spread to ankle pains also. And my question is that uh, is it linked to is this polyarthritis PMSCL positive thing linked to acne and gut issues and all? And how can it be like cured properly? Because I am not able to write by holding a pen sometimes. So that.
Okay. So Sindhu, now it's not like one fine day your body decided that, okay, let's start attacking your joints. And you developed polyarthritis, right? It has happened over a period of time.
Yeah.
Now, and as we spoke, if you've attended the entire workshop, we spoke about various root causes, right? How your gut health is one of the root causes of autoimmunity. Okay.
Okay.
So gut dysbiosis, leaky gut, infections in the gut, your poor digestive, all that is connected to contributing to an autoimmune condition.
Okay.
Okay, so it's connected. It's also connected. And now if your gut is not healthy, it will show up on your skin. It will show up as acne.
Okay.
Okay, so they are connected.
Okay. Okay. So, do you think you're suggesting that this polyarthritis can be cured like like I was before 2 years back?
Yes, it can be treated you if you're determined to do it, right? Now, it's not just about doing something for 3 months. Okay, whatever lifestyle, whatever diet, you will have to make it a habit. Now, here we are talking about one option is you take drugs to suppress your symptoms. The other option is that you change your life and you take health and you take charge of your health.
Okay, yeah, actually, my doctor also, whom I have been consulting, so even in the initial days, they also suggested me that we are not going to go with the steroids or any kind of other things. Only hydroxychloroquine only. They have put me only on one drug, and if I'm having any pains, then they suggested me to take painkillers, but that also in very extreme cases I have been taking. I've been avoiding that also, but they told me to work on lifestyle. So I've did so much of research. I'm actually a dental doctor, so through that knowledge I've done little bit research on what's happening with the polyarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and everything linked to PMSL. So I've tried my own. I've experimented with my body, with myself, like what type of food is working with me and all. I've maintained that for like most of like 1 year. I've done that, and the symptoms all subsided like miraculously, like how you said.
Yeah.
But but I couldn't maintain the consistency, and it's been reverting like since like few months, like 2-3 months. It's been reverting back little bit.
So, okay, let's understand now, for example, a very simple example, right? Gluten and dairy, they are inflammatory in nature.
Yeah.
Especially if someone has autoimmunity, you should avoid gluten and dairy. Okay, so that is the
Yeah.
least you can do. But if you think only avoiding gluten and dairy, you will be able to um, reverse an autoimmunity, no, it will not happen. You have only stopped feeding things that are not good for you, but you are not fixing what is damaged in the body. Okay,
Okay.
you will
Okay.
have to fix the damage. You will have to work on your gut lining. You have to seal the leaky gut if it's there. Okay, you have to address
Okay.
the infections. You have to find and address the infections, because infections
Okay.
become a part of your cell over a period of time. Toxins become
Okay.
deep seated. So what you have done is only one part.
Okay.
So many different things to be done if we have to treat this.
Okay. So, one last few questions. What are the major symptoms of leaky gut? Sorry, I didn't attend the initial
Have
session.
to attend
So,
the webinar. Sorry, Sindhu. Yeah, you'll
okay.
have to watch the recording, and there is a
Yeah,
slide.
where can we see the recording?
So please join the a workshop WhatsApp group. It will be shared there,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
or you can
Thank
get
you.
in touch with Tushar. He will share with you.
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we will take one last question. Carolyn isn't there. Others we have asked us. Lubna, you still have a question?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask, what kind of medications will you be giving?
We just covered that. Prerna had asked that question.
Sorry, I was not able to
It
hear.
would
If
be
you can just.
supplements. These would.
Uh,
Sorry, you're not audible.
what kind of supplements? Yeah,
It
now
could
I
be
am.
vitamins, minerals, probiotics, supplements to support the liver health, supplements to remove the heavy metals. So depends on what is needed for the body.
Okay, and that will cost apart from whatever
Absolutely.
you have to.
Yeah. So
Okay.
fee is only the program fee.
And there won't be any medication, but these supplements.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We hope we have answered all the questions. Siddharth, are there any questions?
Just now a question came, can late onset type 1 diabetes be reversed to?
You want to take this
No,
question?
no, good. I'm looking for more questions.
So, Namita, now type 1 diabetes, it depends at what age you have kind of developed it. There are cases where type 2 diabetes, because they have been so much on medications that they get converted to type 1 diabetes, type 1.5 and then type 1. Now, okay, 18 years, right? So do check for the C-peptide, what the levels are, if there is any insulin production still, right? One thing that we can definitely do is optimize the blood sugar levels. Second, optimize the insulin utilization. Okay. And third is halt the autoimmune damage, halt further damage, because right now it's just affecting the pancreas, right? But then if you don't do anything about the autoimmunity, it will start affecting your other organs. So 1.5 C-peptide, it's still decent, right? I mean, we can definitely work on improving that.
Right. Yes. Yeah, so that's all. I don't think there are any other questions.
Oh, okay. So Pooja, are you still there? You had unmuted yourself.
I wanted to ask question. Rheumatoid arthritis will be 100% reversible in initial stage? Because I visited 2 to 3 rheumatologists, they will say no. There will be drug holiday coming, but there is a no 100% recurrence.
Okay. So Pooja, were you there through the entire workshop? Did you listen to what we talked about?
Yes. Starting 5 minutes, I will not present, else all I listened.
So did the other two experts whom you met earlier, did they tell you about the root causes?
Yes.
They told you about the root causes?
No.
Okay. So when you were not aware of the root causes, how can you address them? Of course, then the answer is no, it cannot be treated.
Okay.
Right?
If root cause will be addressing,
Yes.
and then we will work on it, then it will be 100% recurrent remission possible,
Yes.
reversible
Yes.
possible.
Yes, you can go into remission, and you will have to maintain it. Don't think that okay, 3 months I'll do everything and then I will go back to my lifestyle and start eating whatever I was doing. No, it will not. Then it's not sustainable. Okay, you will
Okay.
have to have a certain kind of discipline and certain kind of lifestyle, diet, etc.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So Tanya, this is the last question we'll take. So Tanya is asking, I know my issues developed as a result of side effects of medicines. So can we reverse the side effects of these medicines? So Tanya, so let's say 2 years back you took some medicine which created some problem, right? And you're still struggling with that problem. Now you have to stop thinking about the side effect of the medicine. Now you have to see what dynamic is happening, right? What function in the body is affected, why it is affected, how it is connected to different systems in the body, and start working from there, right? So as far as I'm concerned, there is a dysfunction in the body, and can we address it? Yes, we can, right? I hope you're there. So that's all. Thank you to all of you for staying with us for so long, and making the workshop so interactive with a lot of questions that many of you have asked. And those of you who've already registered, the team will get in touch with you tomorrow. We'll start working on the next steps. Those of you who are interested but have not been able to make up your minds right now, please make sure that you leave your numbers in the chat and join the WhatsApp group so that our team can get in touch with you to resolve any questions or doubts that you might have. Devanti, just now the link has been shared. So you can also drop your numbers in the chat so the team will make a note and get in touch with you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend ahead. We hope to work with those of you who want to start reversing your health concerns. So we look forward to interacting with you next time. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, everyone. Namaste. Good night.